WT.net. Feeling patriotic around here. You've seen the flag out on my Facebook and all the stuff we're doing around here for the 4th of July. And you know we're doing Baltimore Positive with Don Moeller. We spent a lot of time over in Catonsville at this man's establishment in State Fair. We're going to be at Jennings Cafe right down the street with Steve later in the week with Nancy Grasmick. But as always, I have breakfast at your place, Evan Brown. I have had many Benedicts at your place, but I've never had a hot dog. And I know you sort of have a famous hot dog on your menu. You've tried to get me to order it. I'm like, I'm not coming into your place and ordering a hot dog. I'm not ordering a hot dog at your place. But on the 4th of July, you are doing this thing that I guess we've all seen on the 4th of July, but you have adopted the hot dog eating competition, huh?
We have. It's actually been something that for years, 1 o'clock on ESPN on the 4th of July, we watched the Coney Island hot dog eating contest. And we thought it would be fun because Catonsville is such a big town for the 4th of July celebration. Why not try to have a hot dog eating contest that day as well?
Well, I think it's kind of gross myself, and I've said that before, but what I love about this, and I do have the picture, I'm going to hold it up for everybody here, because you shared this, and I'm going to share this a little later on as well. This is, you have like a legitimate trophy, right?
We do, yes.
Where does one get a hot dog trophy? This is literally, it says here, you're going to be the State Fair 2019 champion. Is this open to the public, or do you have to be some sort of Kobayashi, kind of guy to do? How many people are going to be allowed into this thing?
So we're going to let about 20 people into the actual contest itself. We're doing an open registration at noon. So people would show up at noon, put their name in. First 20 people in basically will be in the contest to win $500 cash. So, and where you find that trophy, where you find everything else in this world on Amazon. Hot dog trophy and it's on there. So
you can learn more about their menu at State Fair. Stop and see them. They're on Frederick Road. I want to tell your story, and I feel bad. We've been in your place so many times. We've had such incredible guests. I mean, Freeman Rabowski in your place. We've just had cool people, and I've never brought you up. And I keep saying, like, we were going to bring you up. We did the Fadley family about their crab cakes, and I know they have some plans to join you in Catonsville as well. You're a different kind of cat now. I mean, I come at this with Don. He was my high school guidance counselor in 1982, and we have founded Baltimore Positive in 2019. You were one of the first people to sign up. You, too, were a Don Moeller student. You have an incredible Catonsville, Ellicott City story that I just want to share with everyone because when people come back, and today's the 5th anniversary, my wife's having her life saved. Man, when businesses come back and people come back, you have been kicked around down in Ellicott City with these storms. You're a Catonsville dude, and you're a part of this celebration on the 4th of July, but it is not easy opening a business in Baltimore, Maryland, is it?
It's really not. I mean, the community in Catonsville very much supports State Fair, which is amazing. And it's the same sort of feeling that we had in Ellicott City. We were in Ellicott City for about 10 years. Portales was down there right on Lower Main Street. And, we would see flashes of potential flooding in 2011 and 2014. But really, in late July of 2016 is when the first big flood hit. And that basically wiped the business out completely. The whole first floor and basement were completely destroyed, and a few people down there lost their lives that storm specifically. And it took us about 18 months or so to rebuild. And when we rebuilt, we opened December 1st of 2017. And then we went about...
That's not long ago, man. That's 2 years ago, right? Like, literally.
2 years ago, yeah.
Yeah, it's not long ago.
So that December 1st, we opened Portales again, and everything was going great. Business was going great, and it looked like Ellicott City. The hardworking people in Ellicott City worked unbelievably hard just to get people back down there again because it's such a, it rains a little bit and people are terrified. But, everybody did their part in bringing people back down to Ellicott City again. And then, unfortunately, at the end of May 2018, the next storm came through and basically did the exact same thing, if not a little bit more damage, and another loss of life down there. And it's just tragic what's happened down there. And the fact that we lost the business twice, insurance didn't pay $1. And at that point, our hearts wanted to go back to Ellicott City again, but it just wasn't something we could do. I don't want to watch my things get destroyed again.
Well, I mean, there's no doubt about that, and you've built something really cool at State Fair. By the way, we rearranged the furniture. If you were watching the Fraser Smith podcast, we had Frank Zappa and Prince, and you have such neat artwork there, and you have these beautiful Italian lights and this sort of outdoor alfresco garden thing. I think
Absolutely.
like my wife feels like it's been there a million years, but for anybody in Catonsville, it's Friendly's, right? Like literally.
Right. I mean, it's always been Friendly's, and Friendly's was sort of this eyesore for so long. People were just hoping it would close and wishing it would close, and we're really happy that we had an opportunity to come in here. I mean, my business partner Keith and myself are both Catonsville people. I went to Catonsville High School. He went to St. Joe, and we have a lot of roots in Catonsville, which is great.
Some people would say he's not a real Catonsville person then.
That is the argument, right? But I mean, we have a lot of people, friends and families, and that we haven't seen in a long time that are coming through again and supporting the restaurant, and we're very much grateful for them.
Ivan Brown's here. He is at State Fair in Catonsville. Look, you're a Catonsville guy, and I'm a Dundalk guy, and we had a Dundalk. We have Heritage Fair, which I'm participating in this week. I'll be there. Brillhart will be there. We'll drink beer garden. That's the Dundalk thing, and I'm not much of a parade guy, and I've written about this in books, so I'm on the, I've come clean. I've been to many parades. I threw the biggest parade in Baltimore history. It just happened in New Orleans.
There you go.
So yeah, I mean, I've been a part of it, but I'm not a parade guy. And in Dundalk, there were definitely people who could put some chairs out and whatnot, and I was the grand marshal of the Dundalk parade back in 2001 after it was me, Chuck Thompson, and Martin O'Malley. I'm still working on my legend. We rode on the hood of the cars, and that was the first parade I had been in other than the Ravens parade in '01. And then Moeller invited me maybe like '04, '05. I had my own float, because I had listeners in Catonsville, and my wife and I rode in the parade on some '68 Cadillac or something,
Right.
And we have pictures of it, and red, white, and blue. My wife was a blonde then. Dom was younger then. Don't tell him. So I've been in a Catonsville parade one time. It was maybe 15 years ago, ish, and I'm going to be there this week, and I'm coming by your place and Jennings and our sponsors, and I know so many people. I love Catonsville, and I'm not moving there anytime soon because I'm Baltimore positive. I'm staying in the city, but I do love my visits there. But the 4th of July is completely different for Catonsville, right? Like Moeller calls it a holy high holiday, I think is what he says. Yes,
it's amazing what people do. It's all social. I mean, you can walk into any house; they're having parties. There's the parade throughout the day, from 3 to 6 or 3 to whatever that time it ends. And you're just walking around, again, seeing childhood friends and family, and it's sort of this reunion of Catonsville where everybody comes together and sits on Main Street. Those chairs go out June 1st or thereabouts to start reserving places on...
Dude, don't lie to me. Don't lie to me. As we're doing this, we are 9 days out. Are there chairs out on Frederick Road right now?
Oh, there have been chairs out for weeks.
Really?
They've been chairs out for weeks, and it's one of the greatest traditions in Catonsville is seeing those chairs go up because it's summertime then.
They're strange in Catonsville, but they have good food. I mean, they're strange people over there, but they got great food. Evan Brown is here, State Fair. They're doing the hot dog eating competition. Nothing washes a hot dog down like an ice cold summer refreshment. And I hear that you have friends at Jailbreak. I need to meet these people because I like beer. I don't know if you've heard this or not. I'm from Dundalk. I haven't even met the people that make the Dundalk calling beer. If anybody knows any of these local brewers, I need to get back into that space and meeting the local people who make the hops and the brews and all that stuff. But I know Jailbreak is working on a specially commissioned Catonsville brew for the brouhaha, right?
And we will actually have it, we're supposed to have it delivered on Thursday afternoon, and it's going to be available for purchase off-premise. And it's going to be an ode to Catonsville 4th of July. The name of it is called Game of Chairs, and it's all about the chairs they can put out for the parade itself. And we'll have a limited release of that. We'll have about 70 cases, and we'll bring that in, and hopefully people will be drinking it on the 4th of July. That's the idea. So it should be a very nice beer, and we're very thankful to Jailbreak for allowing us to collaborate with them on that.
Ah, man. Well, is it a lager, or what are they making for you?
So it's going to be a hazy pale ale, and it's
Okay.
like a 5.3%. So it's definitely something that's not going to knock you over. But it's good. It should be delicious.
I wouldn't want to be knocked over
represent.
after having all those hot dogs.
Well, exactly. That's the whole thing. It's all about balance, right?
Evan Brown is over at State Fair. He's one of our great sponsors and friends, a Catonsville guy, and lost a couple of businesses in Ellicott City and has a hell of a story and is very involved in our Baltimore Positive mission, as well as having cool rock star artwork on the walls in his place. Last thing for you, just your menu and your concept and the friendlies and sort of the all day of I'll be in there at 9 o'clock in the morning having delicious fresh pressed coffee and an eggs Benedict, but you can roll in there and get dinner at 8:30 at night. It's an interesting concept, and it's a newish sort of taking the sort of the Greek diner or the all-day diner or the all-day, all-night cocktail lounge kind of place, and maybe bringing that into 2019.
Right, so we're open 8 a.m. to 2 a.m., so they're long hours, and when we thought about this concept, which we had never really planned on doing in the first place because we were in Ellicott City, it was what did we think Catonsville needed or wanted and didn't have? And they have a great breakfast place over at Duesenberg's and then Double T, but at Duesenberg's you can't get alcohol. So we thought maybe we could do a breakfast menu and serve that throughout the day. As
Bloody
well as
Bloody Mary is the
Bloody
beginning
Marys,
of that,
mimosas,
right? Yeah,
things like
sure,
that, right. And then we have 210 different whiskeys and bourbons, 50 local breweries and types of beer. So I mean, we're trying to stay as local as we can, and then have an extensive whiskey bourbon collection as well. So.
Yeah, for you with your menu and eating different, it really what you were doing in Ellicott City is not what you do in Catonsville, and that would always be my jam, right? Like people always say, "Oh, you should open a restaurant." I'm like, dude, I know restaurant owners. They make it look easier than it is. I've been in your place 100 times. I've never not seen you there. I'm pretty convinced there must be 3 of you at some point.
That's probably, I wish.
But I would say this, for anyone in the restaurant business, the first thing is, what am I going to serve, folks? What is on the menu, right?
Right. I mean, that was just, it was trying to find things that weren't everywhere else on the street because, every one of these restaurants on the street are great in their own way. They serve a certain thing, whether it be raw oysters or, liver and onions. Any one of those things you can get on the street, but we didn't want to be the same as them. We didn't want to compete against them. That was the big argument when they wanted us to bring Portales specifically here was there's 2 other Italian restaurants here, and I'm not interested in hurting someone else's business by competing against them with a very specific cuisine that they have. So that's kind of where we wanted to go. People like variety, people like selection, and that's what we just tried to offer was what we thought wasn't available in this area.
State Fair has quickly become one of our favorite places in Catonsville, and we'll be in the Ville on the 4th of July. Hot dog eating competition, and there is
put that trophy in that background.
Literally, yeah. I want to make sure that everybody sees that there really is a trophy at State Fair for the hot dog eating competition. Did you have to put mustard on the trophy? Can you get one with ketchup and relish on there? Maybe
you can put whatever you want. I imagine people are probably just going to eat them plain, but they can have anything they want on them.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's a hot dog kind of holiday or a crab kind of holiday. I mean, I'll probably be doing a crab Benedict with you for breakfast.
There you go.
That'd probably be more my thing. All right, save me a seat out there or a standing position or a place in the well by the bar over there where the jailbreak is and all that stuff, and we will see you for more Baltimore Positive. Great to have you aboard, man. Thanks for being a great guest, Ev.
Thank you for everything.
Evan Brown, Catonsville, and doing State Fair, and we've been doing breakfast over there. You've seen Mick Jagger hanging on the wall and John Lennon as well as Frank Zappa and Prince, amongst others. At some point, I'll mix some things up, and David Bowie's going to be behind me for the next segment that I do at State Fair. We hope to see you over the 4th of July celebration. Nasty at WNST.net finds me. It is a whole celebration throughout the month of July. All of our Hall of Fame interviews all presented for the first time ever in many cases. So you'll want to be listening in July to hear all of our archival stuff. I've been going through in tapes, videotapes, mini discs, the nasty interview archives that I have here with all sorts of Hall of Famers on them as I go through and cull all of the Buck. I interviewed Buck Showalter in. How do I get that up on the video? There you go. I'm a little dyslexic on my video camera skills here. But Buck Showalter, John Smoltz, let's see here, John Shorholtz, Johnny Bench, Phil Necro, all will be coming your way during the month of July. So make sure you check that out. The BuyAToyota.com Audio Vault will also have that. And we are, WNST.net, AM 1570, and WNST, Towson, Baltimore. We never stop talking about hot dog eating competitions in Catonsville and parades and chairs and flags and stuff and Hall of Famers. Stay with us all month long. It's going to be a great month of July.